My 3 predictions for 2026. 1. FM teams will demand visibility at the top table because the business impact is impossible to ignore. 2. AI will take away the repetitive admin that nobody has time for, not replacing FMs but freeing them up. And 3. Asset data becomes a competitive advantage. The organisations that get this right will spend less and save more and will be able to plan better.
Number 1, there is definitely going to be more content created by service providers than we've ever seen before. It's the easiest time in our careers to be able to create content. If you are not doing it, your competitors are going to be, so make sure you crack on and do that. Number 2, the use of AI. Everyone's talking about AI. I'm not really seeing it implemented yet, and those early adopters I've seen some failure in, which is really interesting. But how are people going to use AI this year? I don't know, but definitely there's going to be a drive to try and use it more, impress customers with it more, and really try and drive some change from technology. I'm skeptical about whether it's going to work, but I'm open to the possibility that it might do. And number 3, the importance of well-being and our people. We cannot forget that with all this tech and all this worry about losing our jobs because technology is going to take over, it impacts the person on the ground, and we cannot forget that. We need to keep focusing on making our people feel loved and making sure that they are the most important asset within the entire sector and the whole business that we have. Facilities management is based on people. Love them. Make sure that they know how important they are to you.
First prediction will be continued cost pressures due to rises in the national living wage, which will happen in April of this year. We'll raise it to £12.71 per hour, which is up 50 pence an hour from the 2025 level. That will continue to erode margins, and service providers will be looking at means to improve internal efficiencies, but also mechanisms to see whether some of those costs can be passed on to clients. The second prediction really, which I'm already seeing, is that more and more organisations are trying to robustly document their asset management strategies. That can include improving their asset data and asset registers in particular, show greater compliance, have greater visibility on that, also more robust PPM regimes, and then finally the optimisation of their CAFM systems or the procurement of a new CAFM system.
So my prediction for 2026 is that hiring will remain strong and there'll be a high demand for quality FMs, but with businesses more cost conscious than in previous years, there's going to be a real expectation that people can hit the ground running. What that will mean is demand for people with experience in the same sector will be increased, and that will probably lead to salaries increasing even further as there is more competition for that niche of people with ready-made experience that can hit the ground running. What I hope will happen this year is that as there is more of a need for those higher quality FMs, facilities managers will awaken to actually the value they bring and be able to articulate that really clearly. The industry is growing in importance. What we need now is FMs that can champion the work they do and the value it brings from the rooftops, which I think will also help get more people into the industry and help solve that skills shortage.
So I think first one, AI. I know I said on the podcast that AI was, something we need to all be wary of and be careful, but I definitely think that's going to have a massive impact on what we do over the next 12 months. I also think the comments from NVIDIA CEO a couple of weeks ago, Jason Huang, over robotics is really interesting. Can we use robots, emptying bins, that kind of stuff? And I think a key one for me this year is definitely going to be data analytics and how I can analyse the data that I get out of Expansive and how I can help that build my maintenance plans and anything that I need to replace over the next 12 months.
2026 predictions for FM, I think more automation. I think doing more with less because we're being asked to do more with less. I think figuring out what tasks can be automated, how much robotics can come into cleaning and doing manual tasks or menial tasks that humans don't need to do anymore, and that humans can go and do other things, more valuable tasks. Seeing a lot of this in the US, and I think it's coming across to Europe as well. But I think that's the main thing for me. Everyone talks about AI taking over and all these other things. That will naturally come, but I think more automation and doing more with less is what I think is coming in 2026.
With the pressure on operators at the moment to maximise profit, there's going to be a shift towards that need for what we call fractional support. So external expertise from people who have worked in other brands who come in and help identify if there's any efficiencies to be made.
I think this is finally the year contractors stop tolerating all the admin and they actually start eliminating it. So we're seeing a major shift in how contractors engage with client CAFM systems now. And not because the clients demand it, but because contractors themselves are becoming more technically able, they're becoming more data driven and commercially aware as well. So as integration becomes easier and admin tools get better, contractors will try and plug straight into CAFM systems. And that will help remove manual data entry, eliminate duplication, and stop hiding admin costs inside the actual service prices. The impact is going to be bigger than the efficiency. It will bring real transparency across the entire workflow cycle. So from the instruction to the delivery to invoicing, that's going to be a win for contractors, a win for clients, and a win for the industry as a whole. So less friction, more trust, better outcomes. So 2026 is when integration stops being a burden but actually becomes a competitive advantage. Have a great year, everybody.